Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, host of the program. And Your Real Estate Voice is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. And it does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, it's commonly known that as people get on in years, they will often choose to sell that big family home and move to a smaller place. Is that still happening? And why wouldn't someone choose to downsize right now?
Well, actually, there's a lot of people that are in kind of our demographic, and they're looking at different things before they make that move. Some people are just remodeling their house and staying put. And really the big issue is the higher rates make their next home less affordable if they have to get a mortgage. And I think inflation plays a role in that too. I actually read a study about this, and they were saying that, 50% of people in the boomer age really, they're not sure they would be able to afford a home if they move to their next house, so it's changing quite a bit. There was a survey done of 400 people in that age range, and they said that they never plan to sell because the house suits their needs, or they want to age in place, or maybe their mortgage is paid off, and maybe even though it's paid off, if they took that money and bought another home, they wouldn't improve their lifestyle. Some people don't want to start over. Some people can't afford buying a house right now in this market. But what I find just from my own experience, because a lot of people in that demographic contact me to help them make their next move. Many are moving from just my own little microcosm of people that I meet with. A lot are moving to be close to family, especially close to grandkids. But that draw is irresistible, being close to grandkids. So a lot of people will kind of move heaven and earth just for that. And that's great. I think it's good for family to be close together. Some people are just, not able to take care of a big house anymore. There's different things like that. But, they have concerns over homeownership going into the future. Some of the concerns are the maintenance cost. Like we bought a ranch and our plan was to stay, right? But it needs snow removal. There's some work to it. We got to walk down the driveway. You know what I'm saying? There's always upkeep. There's always things that we have to take care of. Now it's a 23-year-old home, and some of the major systems are thinking, okay, we might have to replace the furnace, we might have to replace this and that. So utility costs for bigger houses are obviously more expensive. So it just really depends on the person and whether or not they're satisfied with their house. And one of the things I thought was kind of cool of the people that decide to just remodel and stay where they're at is they surveyed 1,100 boomers, and they found that if they have a well-designed kitchen, they're going to stay. If there's few or no stairs, they're going to stay. If they have an attached garage, a main level living. Some people have to modify their showers to put grab bars rather. And then the doors might have to be wide enough to put a wheelchair, as people might need that. Hopefully not, but it happens sometimes. And then I was surprised that this number was as low, because I've seen different statistics, but they were seeing a space for a caregiver or having a secondary main level bedroom to have extended families, say in-laws or whatever, move in. I know, Richard, you just went through that, right? With your folks staying with you?
Yes. And I think a lot of people are going through this, Barb. And that's why I think this topic is so good, because if it's happening to me and you're talking about it, it's happening to a lot of people listening to the program.
Yeah, so having that availability. So like my sister-in-law, she takes care of my mother-in-law, who's next month going to be 95, and she goes upstairs to her bedroom. She can do stairs, and she picks weeds, and she's perfectly fine, except for her hearing's not that great. But a lot of people don't want to go to necessarily an independent living facility, and might be more comfortable with family where they have somebody watching over them. So only 15% of boomers plan to sell in the next 5 years. It's a lower number than I expected. And I think if the rates come down, they might think twice. I've seen some of them move twice. They'll go to Florida and go, no, we don't like that. Okay, we're going to go close to family. But after they sell, about 40% are looking to downsize to a different home. Some, very few are going to rent. Some might be buying a new home, but it's smaller. And probably 20% are moving into like an independent care or assisted living facility. Only 8% are moving in with children and family. And I think that's probably true. A lot of parents really don't want to burden their kids with that, right? I would welcome it if my parents were still alive, but I don't think they like to interfere. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I am the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice, and the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And we're talking about why fewer baby boomers are deciding to downsize right now. And that could affect the inventory. Actually, the number of available homes is less than it was before the pandemic. And next up, we're going to cover a couple of downsizing tips that might help you if you're thinking of downsizing sometime soon. That can be a very big project. We just went through remodeling part of our house and we got kicked out of the main level essentially and the kitchen and had to go downstairs. And it was quite the experience. Have you ever done that, Richard, where you've been asked to move out of part of your house?
Yes, in fact, I have. But it's always for a good reason, right? You've always got somebody in the family, you're trying to adjust things, but all of a sudden you have all of these things in a room. You thought we're going to be there for a long time, and it's okay, make that difference. I wish I'd had you over my shoulder when I was doing that.
I know, like when we were told to move downstairs, it's like, all right, get out of the master, get out of the office, get out of the kitchen. Even when they moved the refrigerator, they said, okay, it's too heavy. You have to empty it out. I'm like, oh God, okay. So that was early in the morning and start going through it. I'm like, oh, expired. Whoops. So most of it was expired. So that made it easy. And we have a little small bar downstairs and a refrigerator that we could pivot to. But I think the biggest surprise to me is most of that stuff that we moved downstairs, we got rid of. I just didn't need a lot of it. So I think a lot of people get kind of attached to their things and stuff, but at the end of the day, I haven't moved since we moved back upstairs. I haven't moved most of it back upstairs. And I'm like, okay, obviously I don't need it if I'm not addressing it. So that's what we're going to cover in the next part of this segment is some tips to help you downsize when you are getting ready to sell your home or just downsizing in general. Some good little tips that I learned from people that are skilled with organizing. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900. I have over 28,000 buyers just on my little website. Typically, I can find 800, 700 that will be a high match for your home, plus our cash buyers. And we can market directly to those buyers. And then if you are thinking of moving, we do meet with you by request and come out and give you tips on how to get your house ready for sale in advance. Because some people call me and they're already ready, which is great. But I would say most people want some advice. Should we do this? Should we do that? Are we going to get our money out of it? And so we love doing that and helping people. So just call us at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing why some baby boomers are not downsizing, but those who do plan to move to a home that require less maintenance and upkeep. So, what are some of the tips to get ready to downsize in a home like that?
Well, I've got a couple of great checklists to get started. So if you're interested in getting a copy of the checklist, just call us or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll send it out to you. But I'll just summarize them real quickly. I would say start early. Don't wait to the last minute. Now, some people, it's unexpected, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, go as early as you can and start small, like eliminate rooms that you're really not going to have in your new home. Some of the places I see that really are not going to get used in their new home typically are things like spare bedrooms, spare bedroom furniture, storage sheds. Those are places that really accumulate a lot of junk, get rid of duplicates, and then you can just create piles like yes, no, maybe, right? And a lot of people have, I know I do, I think I have 2 sets of china. I still have them. I'm probably never going to even use them, but it's kind of hard to give those things up. So I think when it's time for us to downsize, those might be the first things that I might sell or donate or something like that. And don't be afraid to sell things yourself. Probably one of the more popular places, and I'm not a big Facebook person, just so you know, would be Facebook Marketplace. I've heard people have really good luck. And if you don't know how to do it, then ask one of your younger family members. They can probably post it for you and be there for you when you are selling those items. Another thing that can make downsizing a little bit easier is try to be efficient about what you plan to do. For me, what works best for me is if I take it one room at a time. Otherwise, I'm like a squirrel, I'm like, oh, over here, oh, over here. And I'm not focused and nothing gets done. So the best thing to do is just start with one room, maybe even just one closet and go, okay, do I really need this? Do I really wear this? Get rid of that stuff. You could donate clothes. You could give them to friends and family. You could sell some things. There are some consignment stores that take clothes. You could recycle. A lot of people need clothes, so there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then, try to deal with areas that tend to collect junk. So when your house is on the market, generally we don't take pictures of rooms like garages, sheds, closets, right? But the buyers will look at those spaces to find out if they're big enough to meet their needs, right? Especially the master closet. Try to minimize that one as much as possible and make it look neat and tidy. But garages tend to accumulate things, and that's okay. Use that as your staging area. Maybe have one little area for, okay, I'm going to donate this. I'm going to get rid of this. We're like, we have to get rid of stuff an awful lot. Furniture tends to pile up and it tends to be too much. Some people have good luck selling furniture on Facebook Marketplace. I actually just bought my dining room set used, and I was real happy because the store next door was a brand new store where similar set was like $14,000. And I'm like, nobody cares what my dining room set looks like. So I ended up spending $1,000 and got a very nice dining room set that I'm quite happy with. And those people probably spent the $14,000 and then took it to a consignment store and resold it. And those consignment stores will come and get those pieces. There are also auction companies in the kitchen. Decide what you're taking first. Get rid of those things that you really don't use very much. Like my husband, he doesn't like clutter. So one day he just went through my utensil drawer and just put half of it away. And there was a little squawking with me when I do cook, because I'm like, where's this or where's that? I finally just got over it and really don't miss it. I have kind of a sparse utensil drawer, and we just use the things that we have. And so you can get by with a lot less junk. And then, of course, donate what you can't sell. Work from big to small, like furniture, that really helps. I talked about china, clothes. And then if you do an estate sale, one thing that you need to know, I've talked to people and they ask me a lot of questions about this. Generally, estate sellers will come in, they kind of almost like buy the whole household of what you're willing to give up. But the used value has to be over $15,000, and they are going to take half or more of that valuation and keep it. So I would think twice about doing that kind of thing. There are some online auctions that will come and get pieces or sell pieces online, and that might work for some of your nicer pieces like antiques and stuff like that. And of course, what you keep would be important papers, heirlooms, electronics, photos, jewelry, that kind of stuff. So if you are thinking of making a move and you want some help with that, or you want our list, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker, host of the program. And with your home sold, guaranteed Realty, if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we'll be discussing what is the most profitable month to sell your home. Stay tuned for that.